Chiefs Kingdom, I need to ask you something tough tonight. When you lose 22-19 on a walk-off field goal after leading in the fourth quarter, after your Hall of Fame tight end breaks a franchise record with a clutch touchdown, who do you hold responsible? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Is it Travis Kelce? Is it the defense? Or is the real problem something less convenient to admit? Discipline, penalties, and decisions coming from the sideline. This loss to Denver wasn't only painful. It was avoidable, and the responsibility is clearer than most of us want to admit. Let's set the scene. Sunday, November 16th, 2025. Empower Field at Mile High. The Broncos arrive red hot, the Chiefs fighting to stay afloat. It's another chapter in a rivalry that's been burning since 1960, one Kansas City has mostly owned, especially with Mahomes under center. But tonight, Denver walks away with a 22-19 win, its 8th straight victory, thanks to a 35-yard field goal right after the Chiefs used their final timeouts on defense and essentially handed the Broncos the freedom to drain the clock. Before we point fingers, let's look at what went right. Patrick Mahomes wasn't perfect, but he was far from the one who sank this game. He finished in the high 200s with a touchdown and a pick. That's not eye-popping by his standards, but it's nowhere close to a meltdown. He made big throws, including the deep shot to Tyquan Thornton that set up Kareem Hunt's touchdown earlier. And of course, the 21-yard strike to Travis Kelce that pushed the Chiefs ahead 19-6 with under 10 minutes left. That throw was classic Mahomes. Pressure closing in, subtle pocket movement, ball delivered exactly where it needed to be. Kelce wasn't the problem either. He was the emotional engine of the offense. 9 catches, nearly 100 yards, and the 21-yard catch and run that shifted momentum and made history. That score moved him to 84 career touchdowns, passing Priest Holmes for the most in franchise history. On the road, in the Denver altitude, he looked every bit like the future Hall of Famer he is. So if Mahomes battled and Kelce delivered, and the offense created enough explosive moments to win, why did the Chiefs lose? When you walk through the game possession by possession, a pattern shows up. Self-inflicted mistakes and coaching choices that backfired at the worst possible times. From the start, the tone leaned sloppy. The Chiefs moved the ball but kept stalling inside the red zone, settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. Harrison Butker kept them alive with a pair of short kicks, but when you have Mahomes and Kelce, you don't settle for 3. You finish drives. And too often, penalties wiped away good plays. Illegal formations, holding calls, shifts that weren't set. Those aren't just player errors. That reflects coaching discipline and preparation. This is Week 11, not preseason. The turning point came in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. Both teams traded scores. Denver punched in a short touchdown run. The Chiefs answered. Field goals flew back and forth. Then, with under 10 minutes left, Mahomes and Kelce took control again. They marched more than 70 yards in 6 plays, capped by Kelce's record-breaking touchdown to put Kansas City up 19-6. But the extra point was blocked, and that moment quietly changed the entire endgame. Instead of a 7-point lead, the Chiefs stayed up by 3. That opened the door for Denver and shifted their late-game strategy. A special teams breakdown like that lands on execution and coaching. At this level, those details change games. But the biggest issue of the night wasn't Mahomes, Kelce, or even the defense wearing down. It was game management. It was how the Chiefs handled their timeouts and the situation on Denver's final drive. With the game tied 19-19 and just over 4 minutes left, Kansas City went 3 and out. Mahomes nearly threw a pick, followed by a catch where Kelce couldn't stay in bounds, then a sack. After a booming punt, Denver got the ball with plenty of time. Bo Nix and the Broncos offense did exactly what you fear late in a close game. They controlled the pace. They moved the ball methodically. They kept Mahomes on the sideline. Then came the moment that will be talked about all week. The Chiefs started spending their defensive timeouts early, one after a run, another after a completion deep in their own territory. Before long, Kansas City was out of timeouts, and Denver had everything it needed. They milked the clock, took the ideal setup, and kicked the walk-off field goal with no time left. Mahomes and Kelce watched, unable to do anything. Should the Chiefs have used those timeouts that early? That's the debate. In theory, sure, you want time left for Mahomes. But if you choose to spend those timeouts, you need to create at least half a minute of clock to work with. Instead, the timeouts were burned without gaining anything. The Chiefs never touched the ball again. This wasn't on Mahomes. It wasn't on Kelsey. It wasn't strictly on a tired defense. This was on the sideline, on Andy Reid and the game management operation. Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach. He helped build a modern dynasty. He brought championships after the 1969, 2019, 2022, and 2023 seasons. His offensive vision and leadership are undeniable. But even great coaches have weaknesses, and Reid's has always been clock management and situational decision-making. Chiefs fans know this from years of watching it happen. Tonight, that weakness resurfaced. Penalties erased big plays. A blocked extra point altered the math. And in the final minutes, timeouts were used in a way that put Denver firmly in control. For context, this wasn't a year where the Chiefs could afford sloppy edges. The AFC has caught up. The margin for error is razor thin. Coaching discipline and situational awareness matter more than ever. Could the defense have played sharper? Yes. Bo Nix came close to 300 yards. Denver converted big third downs. The pass rush didn't consistently disrupt. Missed tackles showed up in key moments. But this defense has been one of the team's strengths all season, and you can survive an imperfect night if the sideline doesn't compound the issues. Could Mahomes have avoided a sack or two? Sure. Could the offensive line have avoided flags that killed drives? Absolutely. Losses always land on multiple shoulders. But if you're asking who bears the largest chunk of responsibility, tonight's answer is plain. Coaching and game management cost the Chiefs the game. Reid's offense was undercut by preventable mistakes, and his handling of the clock helped shape the ending Denver wanted. Now let's look ahead. Mahomes remains one of the most gifted quarterbacks in the sport. Kelsey is still a matchup nightmare and continues adding to a legendary resume. Chiefs Kingdom remains one of the most passionate fan bases you'll find, and Arrowhead is still one of the loudest stadiums in sports. But other AFC contenders aren't intimidated anymore. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Houston, and now Denver see these matchups as measuring sticks. In that world, the Chiefs cannot afford penalties that erase explosive plays or timeouts that hand an opponent control. So where do we go from here? This loss will sit heavy for a while. Chiefs fans will replay Kelsey's historic touchdown. They'll replay the deep throw to Thornton. They'll replay Denver's final drive, the timeouts, the creeping dread as the Broncos march toward the winning kick. But there is hope. The problems that hurt the Chiefs tonight are fixable. They aren't about lack of talent or effort. They're about decisions. Penalties can be coached down. Special teams protection can be tightened. Timeout philosophy can change. And the team can commit to ensuring Mahomes gets one last chance whenever possible. If any team is built to respond, it's this one. Mahomes has led comebacks that still feel unreal. Kelsey has been the steadying force through all of them. Their connection remains the heartbeat of this franchise. The missing piece is whether the coaching operation around them sharpens the details, because Mahomes and Kelsey cannot keep rescuing the team from preventable mistakes forever. Tonight in Denver, that bill came due. So Chiefs Kingdom, as you sit with this 22-19 loss, remember this. Your stars did their part. Your legends played like legends. The reason the Chiefs fell was not the heroes on the field. It was the choices made off it. And if this team wants another deep playoff run, if they want another Lombardi trophy to add to the ones from 1969, 2020, 2023, and 2024, the corrections must start with accountability and cleaner decisions. The season is far from over. Mahomes and Kelsey are too good, this roster is too complete, and this fan base is too loud to fade without a fight. But after a night like this, the truth is impossible to ignore. The Chiefs didn't lose because of their stars. They lost because of the decisions that never let their stars finish the job.